Hey Thespians, how's it going? Just a quick update on what's going on in my life. My show opens less than a week from today, so that's exciting and a little bit terrifying. Like all shows, it's currently going back and forth between being really stressed about it and really enjoying it. But I think it's going to be a really good show, which I never thought I'd say about a production of Romeo and Juliet, because, God, that play can get tiresome. But that's the best thing about it, because it's not tiresome anymore, as I said next week. As for what else is going on, university's about to finish, which is great. I get a bit of time off. The funny thing about doing O-Show during the holidays was that we never really got a break. We kind of just started working on it, and then we started university, and then it was just kind of like, I want to collapse all the time, because I'm tired all the time. In some bad news, unfortunately, I haven't had a job for a while, which sucks a lot, because it means I'm not making any money. So that means I have to move home soon. So the video backdrops that you guys came familiar with at the very beginning of this channel will be returning as I move back to my parents' house. Which is unfortunate, but unfortunately these things have to happen in life when you don't have any money. Hopefully I get a job soon and can move back out again and get back to living how I like to live. But that's the unfortunate downside of being a poor student sometimes. So quickly fix my camera. There we go. Isn't that better? Look, I'm no longer like half cut off on the top of my head. I was just trying to hide the fact that I'd been scalped recently. As for what else is going on, we've recently been working more on Columbine. That's continuing to continue along. One thing that I'm noticing more than anything, and it came up today more than anything, is when you're working on a show or quite a serious topic, and you obviously spend a lot of time researching that topic, because dramaturgy and also it's really important just to understand what it is you're making theatre about. You start to know a lot more about the topic than the majority of the people who you engage with in terms of why you're making the show. So people say things that you just go, oh god, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard anyone say about this topic, and you kind of forget that you didn't know this back then. This also applies to other situations, like when we in Australia talk about America's gun laws and that we don't like the fact that they have a right for guns and we think it's stupid, but to them it's perfectly normal. That's just culture in America, as I'm sure Mary could tell any of us. It's culture in America that you have a right to have guns, and there we go. That's the thing. I think that's awesome. Follow what your cultures are. Yeah, some people disagree with it, some people agree with it. 10 years ago when the Howard government outlawed guns here in Australia, people were fucking furious. They were so angry. But that's just kind of the difference, is like when you know about something and when you've experienced something different from something else, it changes your opinion. I think it's really important as theatre makers that we remember that when we're making theatre. We don't just assume that our audience will automatically get what it is we're trying to say, because it's really easy for us when we're working on shows to get lost in the show. Like, we understand perfectly what we're trying to say in the show, but there's no guarantee that what we're saying is being understood by the audience, because we find it much easier to understand those topics than they do, because they haven't been researching it for as long as we have. In terms of Columbine, this comes up quite a lot in one really obvious way. One thing that we noticed really quickly when we were researching the Columbine events is, and something that we're really keen to address in the show, and we have to be really careful how we do it, is that Columbine actually, at the kind of core of it, the two boys intended it to be a domestic terrorist attack, not a school shooting. This completely changes what the entire event means to American, Australian, worldwide communities. Suddenly it's no longer purely about two boys going into their school in an unplanned attack. It's about an incredibly thought out, planned thing that they wanted to do, and that's just horrible, and that needs to be addressed, and people need to know that. But it's really easy as people who know that, when we're making this show, to think about that. And this kind of thought can be applied to any really serious show. On the other flip side of things, when you really know a lot about a topic and people are talking about it, sometimes people just say things that just make you want a head desk all the time. In a class the other day, one of my cast members' teachers said, oh god, you guys are so annoying, maybe I should just, like, go Columbine on all of you. And needless to say, we just couldn't believe that sentence came out of anyone's mouth. Because even for people who don't know anything about the event, that was a horrible event. But we know about the event, and it's just countless times more horrible when you know about what's happening. And people just say things. People are stupid sometimes. It's basically what this video has now become about. Sometimes people are stupid. Mark, happy birthday for the other day. See you guys next week.